This episode of Out of Spec Reviews is brought to you by Magna. More on that later.
Good morning and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews, where I find myself getting energized to go out for a jog this morning. And I decided that I wanted to get in my car and go to a certain spot that I like to run in. And I come out to my car and it's completely dead. Is this the Nemesis 12-volt battery issue that I've been reading about? Well, oh boy, let's get into it. So here it sits. First thing I noticed when I came up to the car was that normally it unlocks, presents the door handles, but this morning it stayed asleep, sort of like the way I wanted to this morning in any event. So you have to take this little key, manual key, out of the fob. I'm going to try and do this with one hand here. And basically what you need to do is you need to, I can't do this with one hand. Hold on one second. Basically what you need to do is stick the key in that little keyhole right there, turn it, and then you can get in the car. Okay, so you can see that I got the key in there and I was able to get the door unlocked, which is great. So now what I need to do is pop the hood manually and come on over here, open the hood, and what I've done is I bought this little device, this 12-volt battery contraption, just in case I would run into this situation. So sorry for the bumpiness on the camera there. I'm gonna open this up and get this thing out. So this is the device here. $35. I don't know what it is, a Type S. And let me see what this thing says it is. Jumpstart power bank. Now, let's see. Hopefully this thing has some power. Yeah, charged up to 100%. It's got a light on it. It's got a USB port. Pretty handy device. And this also comes with cables. I'm trying to do this all by myself. That you can plug into the unit, and then hopefully you'll be able to hook this up to the 12-volt and get her going. So let me try this. Okay, so I've got this little dongle. Love that word, dongle. Anyway, got the little dongle plugged into the unit, and we've got some Christmas tree lights going off here. I don't know what that's all about. So in any event, I know that you can kind of sneak the connectors into the 12-volt battery over there, but my understanding is that with a little force, there you go, you just got to pull up on that thing, and what you'll see is you got your battery down here. So interesting. I still have some, I guess the dealership didn't take this piece of plastic off the battery holder, the battery, and let's see what you do here to, oh, there we go. So you just fold that over and you connect up the positive here. Okay. And the negative over here. All right. Whoa, okay. Wow, I just woke up the neighborhood. But let's see what we've got here. Nothing still. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, it looks like I see what happened. All right, well, my neighbors are gonna hate me for this, but I'm replugging it in. Here we go. Okay, there we go. All I did was I hit unlock, and oh boy. And now if I push EV, there we go, started it up. So I'm not really sure why the car did this. I think the why is for another day, but the situation here, I've just got bit by the 12-volt battery fiend. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Magna. Magna is a mobility technology company that is super unique because they touch every aspect of almost every car in the market, especially a lot of electric vehicles, and they even can produce vehicles from the ground up. Now, you may remember I shot a series just recently testing some of their new electric vehicle powertrains, so stay tuned for a lot of Magna content to come. We're going to be going in depth with some really interesting topics with these guys, and Out of Spec wants to thank Magna for sponsoring this review and tons of other videos to come right here on Out of Spec. We look forward to working with Magna to define and find out what the future of mobility looks like.
So welcome back just for a second here. I spoke to Kyle, and you know, it's the end of the day, and interestingly enough, the car, since I fixed it this morning, and when I say I fixed it, I got it going again, but that's not really going to the root cause. I put a Band-Aid on this problem. So once again, welcome back to Out of Spec Reviews, and I just wanted to kind of share some thoughts with you on what I think might be going on, and maybe just solicit some feedback from you out there. So my car, I've had it for about 3 weeks now. I've got 1,610 miles on this car. My routine is I sometimes charge it at home on a 110, but honestly, my commute is only about 10 miles round trip. So I really, if I'm charging, it's once a week. And, you know, occasionally I'm driving into the city, I'll hit EA, and everything's going very well. I've really enjoyed the car a tremendous amount. I really love it. I feel like the seat is sinking in a little bit. Maybe I am getting shorter. But you know, this 12-volt battery issue, there's a few things I just wanted to share with you. The first is, I do have, let me pull it out. I do have this VPeak OBD2 adapter plugged into the car, and I do leave it in the car all the time. However, there's a little blue light on the bottom of it that you can see, and I noticed that when I turn the car off, the blue light goes off. So what I'm thinking is that this maybe isn't the culprit, but perhaps it is. I also have an iPhone cord that I keep plugged into the car, but when I get out of the car, I take my iPhone with me, so I don't think that's the issue, what's going on. I do also have a radar detector that I keep plugged in, just leave it up on the dash. But again, once I turn the car off, it you know, it does not stay on.
One other thing I do have plugged into the car that I tend to leave in the car, unless I'm in a sketchy neighborhood, is this iPad. It's an iPad mini, fits perfectly. I use this to, you know, read the data off of the car, and when I turn the car off, it actually just it doesn't send power to that unit anymore. It basically, I've run it from this USB port, which doesn't seem to be powered when I turn the car off. And then one other thing I did want to show you, I got this ProClip cell phone holder for my car, and it's really, I actually like it a lot. You can slide it across, you can put your phone all the way on the right hand side, but it does actually cover up a little bit of the screen, and in fact it does cover up a little bit of the screen when it's in the center, and more importantly, when I'm driving, it kind of covers up, the iPhone will sit up like this, and it'll cover the lower 1/3 or so of the iPhone. So what I do is I just slide it over here, and then when I'm driving, I can actually see my whole iPhone. Yeah, there's a little bit of a trade-off, but I find it to be very sturdy. It wasn't cheap, it was like 80 bucks by the time you get the actual custom clip and then this piece that goes on top of it. But you know, pretty good setup.
So, you know, I've heard that a number of people have been having this problem. I'd be curious to know, in the Ioniq 5 forum, I've seen it. I've read things on the Ioniq 5 Facebook page, a number of them. I belong to, I think, 3 or 4 of them. I don't know how many there are. One in particular there seems to be a common denominator where people are pointing their finger at the BlueLink app. And I think I might have mentioned this on one of my other videos, where someone on Facebook had mentioned that they thought that it was specifically related to the BlueLink app if you were to, you know, use the function to open the charge port lid in the back. I've never done that before, so I don't see any correlation there. There's a lot of data going back, forget about the Ioniq 5, just on the Hyundai Ioniq web forum. It seems to me that a lot of people have been having problems with their 12-volt battery packs on the pure EVs. I never had a problem. I own 2 Konas, never had a problem with the 12-volt battery pack. I know there's been other issues with battery packs with the Konas, but on the 12 volt specifically, I never had a problem with any issues with that. The other thing is, I know that I just read on one of the forums earlier that someone had their car plugged in inside their garage, the Ioniq 5, overnight, connected up to a NEMA 1450, so plugged into a 220. So the charge went fine in terms of the big battery pack, but his 12-volt battery was dead in the morning. So, you know, I'd really love if you could share in the comments, maybe I've missed something where there is an easy fix. One of the Ioniq, not the Ioniq 5 forums, but the Ioniq forum, I think that the dealership, you know, one of the dealerships traced the issue to a door lock issue on the passenger or the driver's door side, which was malfunctioning and always going on and off and on and off and drawing 1.8, I think it was amps. I don't know. I get amps and volts, and forgive me, but I get it all mixed up. But there was a draw specifically that was related to the mechanism on the door lock, and the dealer fixed that, and then that basically fixed the problem. I've heard that, I've read in the other forums, Ioniq 5, that dealers are baffled and they're just flipping out the 12 volts for new 12 volts. I have been in and out of my car all day today. You know, no issues. So I don't know what it is. And as soon as I connected that little tiny battery to the 12 volt, instantly the car was fine. It's not like you need to get enough energy to, you know, crank over a high amperage starting motor or anything like that. So I'd be also curious if you could leave in the comments if any of your friends or any of you know whether or not people have been having problems with the EV6 as well, knowing that it's built on the same platform. And I don't know if the GV60 is out, but I'd be curious to know if there's a common denominator with the Hyundai, Kia, Genesis kind of grouping. But Hyundai, I have a message for you. I've owned my car now for 3 weeks and I love it, but I cannot come out to my car in the morning and it be dead. I got places to go. I rely on this car. This is a basic thing. So if you can help, you know, identify what's going on here, there seems to be a theme. Let's work together and figure out what's happening here. I don't know if it needs to be a recall or if it needs to be something, but clearly there's something that doesn't smell right. It's flying around in the air and it landed on my car this morning. And so, yeah. Listen, you know, loving the car. I've got lots of little updates. I'm probably going to post something in a week or two just with some of my thoughts about the car. But, you know, Hyundai, let's get this problem fixed, this 12 volt issue. And for those of you who do not own a little battery pack, I highly, highly recommend you go out and buy one today. So anyway, guys, thanks again. This is Dave. Thanks again for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video, and have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.